So in this video we're looking at the reaction of acids with metals. We're going to get the general reaction there, and we're also going to learn about the test for hydrogen, because hydrogen gas is produced when an acid reacts with a metal. So you should remember in the lab we had a range of acids and you were given also a range of metals, and you asked us to put them in the acids to see what happened, to make some observations. So I wonder if you could remember which metal is the most reactive. So which one's the most reactive, which one's the least reactive? Pause the video, see if you can remember that order of reactivity. So here's a graphic you'll have seen at key stage 3. What we've got going on here is we've got the most reactive metals, so they'd react very vigorously, would even set on fire. Fairly reactive, you've got magnesium and zinc. Magnesium is more reactive than zinc though, so they react steadily in our test tubes. Not at all reactive is copper. So if anything, copper would react very slowly. We wouldn't have observed it reacting in the lab. And then completely unreactive, we've got some of our precious metals here, silver and gold. So here's our general equation. A metal plus an acid, or you could say an acid plus a metal, makes a salt and hydrogen. So metals that do react with acids, metals show or can effervesce. So magnesium effervesces when put into dilute hydrochloric acid. All that means is it fizzes. There's lots of bubbles produced, and of course we can measure the reactivity by looking at the number of bubbles produced. So here are a couple of chemical equations. The metal being magnesium reacting with sulfuric acid. So the same rule applies. We've got our sulfate here. So the metal kicks out the hydrogen, it's more reactive than the hydrogen, displaces the hydrogen, and we've now got magnesium sulfate. That's our salt, so we can name our salts in exactly the same way as we did before. And as I said, the magnesium displaces the hydrogen, so now we've got hydrogen gas being produced, the effervescing. Below we've got magnesium and hydrochloric acid, so it's hydrochloric acid, so we know we've got a salt with a chloride. So there's the metal displacing the hydrogen, gives us our metal chloride, and hydrogen gas is evolved. Okay, last learning outcome is the test for hydrogen. So the test for hydrogen is to use a lighted splint. So it's not a glowing splint, it's a lighted splint, and you need to make that really clear. So we use a lighted splint, and a positive test for hydrogen would give us a squeaky pop. Okay, so the squeaky pop is heard. And we've covered our two learning outcomes. Pretty straightforward.